Hi, I'm Craig Gottwals, Galaxy Marine Pro Staff, and I'm here on New Melones Reservoir with professional angler and local guide John Chairpotti. I'm going to throw that which I know catches fish everywhere, and that's green pumpkin. So he's got a jig on. I've got a green pumpkin hula grub on a 3/8 ounce ball head jig. A lot of guys throw that on a football head jig. I like it on a ball head jig. You know, the old timer that taught me how to fish is a old fella from the East Coast, and he lives up on Trinity Lake. And he used to always say to me, "It doesn't really matter what color you're throwing, as long as it's green pumpkin." So this is Carolina lunker sauce, and I started buying this because it is water soluble. And I've noticed that a lot of the scents that are sold, especially out here in the western United States, are oil-based, and they're not water-soluble. And if you do a little research on our friend Mr. Bass, you'll find out that the molecules of oil are so big, they won't even fit into a bass's receptors. So if you don't have a scent that's water-soluble, you're just wasting time.
I'm a firm believer.
So while John's trying to catch our stud fish here, he's throwing that big old Huddleston around, I've just decided I'm going to try and get bit. And this is my favorite bait to do that with. It's a 3-inch tube bait. This one happens to be made by Venom. It's got a scent impregnated in the plastic, and as you saw, I put some Carolina lunker sauce on there. The good thing about the lunker sauce is that it will last 30 minutes, 25 to 30 minutes before you need to reapply. Throw this on a really light line. This is 6-pound McCoy line, spinning rod, 702 Dobbins rod, fast rod. Everything's really light, really sensitive, and basically what you're trying to do here is just coax a bass into biting. I'm not trying to catch a huge fish. I'm just trying to get bit. I want to put one in the boat.
All right, we're going to get off this.
People ask a lot of questions about what, you know, you hear when you watch these fishing shows, low light condition generally helps the bite. Cloud cover, wind chop on the water, storms, any, you know, dark in the morning, dark at night. Why is that? Well, the main reason that occurs is that the bass have a significant sight advantage over the prey fish that they're chasing in those low light conditions. In the low light conditions, if you look at the studies that have been done, those bait fish sight goes down to almost nothing, whereas the bass still retain a pretty good amount of their vision. So as a bass, you're feeling like your predatory advantage is now so much greater because that light condition's down and you want to go do some eating. So hopefully they're going to do some eating up here. Guys that run the front of the boat love when people come from the back seat and do things like that.
I've never had one do that. What I'm doing with this Huddleston is we got, you know, these trout are migrating around here. I think the water's actually too cold for the trout.
The Huddleston trout comes in 0, 5, 12, and 16. What that means is if you count to 10, that's how many feet it will sink. It'll either sink 0 feet, 5 feet, 12, or 16 feet. I pretty much just throw the 12, and I very rarely throw the 5. I don't even own a 16 or a 0, and I probably should own a 0. But is the 12 the most popular for you on this lake, John?
12's the most popular bait.
This is probably one of the best go-to styles of fishing. The bait is actually suspended about 2-3 feet above the weight on the line. And we're fishing vertically in 43, 45 feet of water here on an island top. And you're basically just, I mean, some guys will shake a drop shot. I noticed John's, you know, kind of shaking his a little bit, bringing it up and down. I just try and, you know, make bottom contact and just move it real slow up and down there, just trying to get a fish to want to eat it. And if I bring it up and show you what it looks like, you'll see it's just a real small, finessey bait, real subtle, tiny little open hook. And when you put that down in the water, see, it just, you don't have to move it very much, and it's got a lot of action. That's a little 4-inch curly tail shad-colored robo worm that I'm using. And you know, usually this is a great way to just get a bite. And I like what the captain's doing up front. He's going to go down swinging. He's going to go with the woman that brought him here, and that's the big, huge swim bait. And he's just going to, if he catches one, it's going to be a big old, big, fat pig toad, and it's going to make the day all worth it, all in one swipe.
Got one. Okay, you don't feel too big.
stroking them now, Johnny.
Oh, it's a giant.
It's a huge, that's a hog.
That's a yellow bass.
That's a donkey bass right there.
Deep water, another small, pale largemouth. I'll let him go and get back down deep. Today we went